Morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the second week of September here. This is the 14th September, and 14th September. There was a move here on GPJPY. We did continue moving bullish, but right now we are at a resistance area. This was the area that was identified yesterday in the Asian session. Well, before the Asian session started, this is what we identified, that we are support over here. If price respects this support and we move up above, 135, 820, 830, there's a very high probability we're going to continue up towards 136, 300. And we have reached 136, 300. This is a resistance area right now, right? So price has reached the resistance area. There was a move on the 30-minute that happened at 6 a.m. Eastern. This area right over here. Once we broke the high, we continued to move up. It rejected that place. Now looking on the 15-minute. Now the trend is obviously bullish, right? We're moving bullish. We're creating supports. I think for price to continue moving bullish, we would need a 15-minute candle to close bullish, so that then we can say that, okay, the overall 30-minute candles are going to continue moving bullish. And I think if we continue moving up, I think this is the area where price should come up to 136, 600, which is around 25 pips away. Yep, 25 pips away. So we're going to need some sort of confirmation on the 15-minute time frame over here. Either we break the high over here to continue up, or this candle closes bullish, giving you that confirmation, okay, now the next one should continue moving bullish. Last week you took a long in a resistance. It's now the same. I don't remember the last week's trade I took into resistance. There must have been some other factors at play as well. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is okay, so this is a 30-minute chart, minor consolidation below high time frame, support formed in pre-New York. Idea if the price breaks high time frame resistance, wait for price to make a retest. 10 pips, around 10 pips, resistance formed during pre-NY. Okay, so you took a, there's no trade over here. I think you sent the wrong chart. There's no trade to look at that point. Okay, let's take a look at gold and EJ. We have Euro JPY. Oh, okay, Euro JPY also continued to move bullish, but it's also ranging, and it's trying to break above this resistance to continue moving bullish. Let's take a look at gold. Let's take a look at Forex Factory here first. Let's see this. All right, for Monday, there's no news. It's a clean, easy day here. Tuesday, we got some pound news, and other than that, there's nothing happening on Tuesday there either. Wednesday is when the fun starts. Wednesday is a high volatile day. We got CAD CPI on Wednesday. We got USD retail sales. Retail sales, it's a market mover basically. Going at 2 p.m., we got FOMC. We got rates. We got press conference later on. We got AUD employment rate. This will move gold a little bit. We got JPY interest rates. Wow, amazing things happening here. We got pound interest rates on Thursday. Crazy week. Like after Wednesday, I wouldn't be surprised if price starts ranging on Tuesday and later on today, because we have high volatile news coming up later on as well. Also, we got Brexit voting today too, so it's gonna be interesting day here. So someone sent me this chart here earlier. I'm not sure what mistake to point out, because this is just, I think a few things happening here are that you have this big zone drawn. I think this should be a little bit narrower, because it's overlapping these candles, and then these should be a little narrower here as well. So either you use these two zones or you use this one zone, but not all three of them, because they're making chart look a little, you know, there's, there's a lot of zones happening there. So what I have here on the 30 minute would be something like, if I want to redraw the zone over here, I might want to say that, okay, we formed support and now we are continuing to move up. But on the 15 minute, if we want price to continue moving bullish, we want this one to close bullish so that the next 15 minute can have a high probability to continue moving up to 136,600. Let's take a look at this chart over here. This is, oh, okay. Daily on daily time frame, daily support. So basically, London open price went up, waiting for pullback, some sort of bullish candle to form support to go bullish. Yes, that makes sense here as well. You know, for price to continue moving bullish. My bias is basically bullish, but the only problem is that we are approaching these wicks here to the left. Now we don't know whether price is going to look left and say, hey, like, you know what, we have to retrace from here because previously candles retraced here before, or on the smaller time frames, we're going to continue moving bullish, you know. So the one idea is price, if 15 minute breaks the high, I think that's going to be a pretty good opportunity for price to continue up to 136,600. So like a 15 to 17 pip range. Stop would be around, you know, like same like 14, 15 pips. Or if the candle closes bullish here, it could have opportunity for the next candle to continue up. So let's see what happens. Okay, buy ideas. Discounter trend using proper RR. Wait for support. Stop is not given due to not being live. Yeah, that makes sense. First TP 136,600. I think we're gonna get to 136,600. It's right over here. We just need now some confirmations here, especially on the 30 minute and the 15 minute, because we formed a support on the 30 minute, right? If we formed a support on the 30 minute time frame, that means it's a strong support, like it's strong. You know, like it's not like a weak support, it's a strong support. So whenever supports are formed, price is kind of like supporting that idea to continue moving bullish. Hey, do you suggest beginners to look at 15-minute time frame or should we stick to 30-minute time frame? I think 30-minute is much better. 30-minute has much more confirmations. The confirmations presented on a 30-minute time frame are much stronger than 15-minute as well. You know, so that's going to be much better in the start. But as you look at the 30-minute time frame, 1 hour time frame in the start, you will miss moves, right? You will miss moves, and when you're missing moves, I think you need to look back and see how could you have gotten in that trade. We discussed this in a lot more detail in yesterday's webinar. So I think going over those webinars again will kind of help you there. Why do you drew the zone at the top of the wick and not at the top of the candle? Because that's the range, right? I mean, the wick is the full range, so we're expecting price to continue up over here if we get confirmations in this area at this point. So we're just waiting. Let's take a look at gold over here. Gold on the weekly is ranging. We're also creating support at 1930. Let's take a look on the daily here. Daily had a support last week. Last week the support held all the way, right? 1927, 1930, and currently daily candle is like forming small candles. Small candles mean low volume, right? So let's take a look on the 4-hour here now. Looking at the 4-hour, we have a support forming at 1940. We have a resistance forming on the 4-hour at 1947. And this is a very big range. Well, this is not a big range, but comparatively to other ranges, this is like a 70 pip range, right? 70 to 74 pip range. Now, it's pretty easy to identify that, okay, if we break the support, there's a clean candle here to the left-hand side going all the way down to 1927. Or if we break above this resistance, there's clean candles moving all the way up towards 1954. This is going to be moved by the change in the US dollar, you know, so we'll have to wait. There's a lot of ranging happening on gold, so you'll have to wait for price to kind of like either break up or break down. Now, when we drop down to the 1 hour time frame, things get a little messy, you know. So whenever time frames get a little messy, it's a great idea to just go up a time frame so that you can see candles clearly, this clean price action, so that you can kind of like estimate where price can go correctly here. So we're waiting on gold over here. Your JPY is trying to close above this resistance to continue moving bullish. I think it should also continue moving bullish. Let's consult our Chinese indicator over here. Let's see here. Oh, Chinese indicator. We're saying pound is strong. We're saying yen is weak, which, I mean, just by looking at this, they're saying, okay, you know, like pound yen should continue moving up, pound USD should continue moving up, pound CAD should continue moving up. So now, once we see this information, like a lot of people take this information seriously, right? This is just a big joke. But you're using this as confluence. So this says, okay, price should be moving bullish. It does not mean that you should go to your pair and just take a buy, you know, blindly. That's not what it means, right? So you're just waiting for those confirmations. Let's take a look at this chart over here. This is GJ 1 hour chart. What I'm going to see, hourly close above 136.310. If you look at the price, we're kind of getting it. Place stop loss below candle, close price at 10 pips. So, yep, this looks good. That's a good plan. I think as this 15-minute candle closes, we'll need a stronger close, right? Right now, there's no confirmations that price is going to go up. Based on price action, based on candles, there's no confirmation at all. So we're waiting at this point. Hey, is November the last chance for the intake for MF? Yes. Can you give feedback about this entry? Was it way too risky and I should have waited for confirmation? All right, let's take a look at this chart. This chart is coming straight from the Gulag. It's the Gulag chart. This is price broke here, took a long position at retest of breakout. Okay, secured 75%. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Worked out. Thanks for the content. What you think about trading GU and London session as in one pair trading? Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, if you're choosing to trade GU at London session, I think that's a very good idea, because when you look at GU and you're looking to see that, okay, what's really moving the pair in London session, there's only pound that's moving that pair, you know. So in London session, GU is only being influenced by one currency. But when you look at GU in New York session, let's pull up GU over here. So when you look at GU in the New York and London overlap, now that pair is being influenced by two currencies, like, you know, by the US dollar and the pound. So for it to continue moving bullish, you would need pound to be really strong and the dollar to be really weak. You know, that's the only reason it's going to continue moving up. Do you have you open a position? No, I have no positions open. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is higher low support. Okay, price pushing up to new highs, break above intraday resistance levels. Buy support above 136.30. Need candles to close bullish and make higher highs and higher lows. Perfect. 4-hour wick fill target right over here. Sells only if market structure breaks new lows and newer highs. Okay. So if we're looking for buys, right? So the candle closed bullish here on the 15-minute time frame. We have a resistance forming up over here. I think it's going to be a better idea to maybe wait for the 30-minute candle to close bullish, but while we wait for the 30-minute candle to close bullish, it can continue moving up. Now, when we break this down to the 15-minute time frame, we will want a 15-minute candle to break above this area for price to continue moving up, because this is a form of resistance now. You know, we don't know whether price is going to break above this minor resistance or not. So there's a bit of waiting involved at this point. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Could you give me your thoughts on this trade? Let's take a look here. Let's take a look. This is UJ. Price is moving into the range. created support and started to pull back to retest the range. Okay, took a sell. Okay, it's pretty good. What happened? Did it continue moving down? Did it just hang in over there, stop you out, or need that information? All right. Price is trying to move over here. As we come up into the valley of profits above the high over here. As now, here's the thing, right? For price to continue moving up, it needs to start creating higher lows. So this is a low over here, this is a higher low, this is another higher low. So when price is making higher lows on candles, there's a high probability that the candles will break the previous higher high, right? Look at that. We've broken the higher high at that point, right? Now we've broken the higher high at that point. Now there's a very high probability we're going to break this high and continue on towards 136,600. Right? So this way you're looking at small clues on the smaller time frames to see that, okay, will the smaller time frames ultimately push the overall higher time frame to our targets? And it does seem like at this point it should be pushing up towards, oh, there we go, breaking up. Whoever entered over here, man, I think you're in a very good position for price to continue towards 136,600. So yeah, I think this should continue moving bullish. 136,600 is on its way. We'll wait for a little pullback. Okay. Either way, your stops are below this area here. Your stops are below like 136, 270, 260, right over here. Because as price moves up furthermore, your stops become bigger and bigger, right? So if this broke the high at this point, I think your stops were like 9 pips, 12 pips. As price keeps moving forward, your stops become bigger. Now your stops become 15 pips. If price comes up over here, your stops become, like 17, 18 pips. So no, I'm actually not in this trade. I'm not in this trade. I took this push up earlier in the morning. This I'm just spectating now, but I'm not in the trade. I know some people who are in the trade who executed somewhere around 136, 390, 380. So I think we should get to 136, 600. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is GJ 15-minute chart. Oh, nice. 12 pips, 17 pips, 50%, secured 50%. Target to retest the high. I think you will get to this point here as well. How did you took the earlier push up? Can you explain, please? Yes. So basically, on the 30-minute, we had a formation like this, right? This candle was forming, and this candle was open at this point, right? 15-minute candle was right over here. We were creating some sort of support. I entered around 136,250, anticipating for price to break this high and continue moving bullish. And that was also based from the fact about the webinar we did yesterday about, impulse entries. So that kind of helped as well for price to continue moving bullish. As price came to 136,400, I closed my trade because, there's going to be a pullback for pre-New York. Pullback came like this. We formed some sort of support over here to push up. This candle is about to close in 10 minutes. Now, this is where we want candle to close bullish, right? If this candle closes bullish, then there's a very high probability for the next candle to continue moving bullish to 136,600, right? And then we go to the 30-minute time frame and we're like, okay, if we want candles to continue moving up, it needs to respect the low at 136,270. Hey, I know you don't like us to send a chart from the past, but I'd like to share my thought process on this trade. I applied idea based on what you've seen on the stream. Okay, let's take a look at this chart from the past. Chart from the past. We broke below resistance. All wicks created minor support. Maybe some sort of liquidity to continue down. NY may bring a strong push to those daily lows. I don't know what's happening here. Either it was too early for you or what was going on, but retest the daily lows or the highs. Not sure. You have a buy trade open, you're talking about sells. So not sure what's going on there. Ooh, look at that candle. Look at this candle, how it's coming down to a close. Um, there's there's one rule of thumb that I use, and my one rule of thumb is like whenever I'm in a trade, whenever I open a trade, and if that trade goes into profits, but if it doesn't hit my targets, right? So picture this, right? You took a trade and your trade goes in profits, but it doesn't hit your target. And when it comes down to your entry point, my rule of thumb is to close out 50%. Close 50%. That's my rule. Because whenever I'm going to go in a drawdown, I'm never letting the whole position go back in drawdown, because that means that price went in profits, you had money in hand, it didn't hit your target, which means you didn't secure, and now when it's coming back to a drawdown, you're not letting the market take your entire position in drawdown, but you're only letting the market take a portion of your position in drawdown, because that way now you're being safe, right? Because market's unpredictable. The only thing we can control is risk. That's it. Because in the start, what would happen was that I would take a trade and I would go in profits and price would go in drawdown, and then my whole position would be in drawdown, and then I'd get stopped out. So I looked at it, I'm like, man, like I'm going in profits, but I'm still losing, right? So if I'm still losing, why not focus on losing less rather than losing normally, right? So that tip really helped me, like, reduce my losses. And that's what trading is all about, like reducing your losses. Hey, can you give me a thought on this trade? Let's take a look here. Candle's still closing bullish, pretty good. 6 minutes left. We want to close bullish so that we can have next candles moving to 136,600. Okay, 15-minute. Close above the high of the previous candle. Your entry was right over here. Stops were here. Close 50% at 10 pips. Put stops at break even. Yeah, it's pretty good. Should continue moving. How can I close if my lot size is 0.01? How can I close half? Yeah, you can't. You can't close half. You'll have to use 0.02. So you can close 0.01, because you can close half of 0.02, but you can't close half of 0.01. I have a sell limit at 136,700. Well, when we get to 136,700, then we're going to talk about that. 136,700 is far away right now. Your JPY is also breaking above that resistance. It's approaching another area over here. I think looking at the 1 hour, it should continue up till, I guess like this area here, 125, 877. Can we watch the webinar from yesterday anywhere? Nope. That was for special people. But it wasn't that special. I mean, it was just about it was only about candles breaking the highs and the lows, and hey, when I take trades like this, my entries are a bit too late, which causes the trade to be lower than 1-to-1 risk reward. Do you have any tips? How can I get better entries? Yeah, so basically you look at a trade you've taken before, you look at that trade, and then you figure out that, okay, how could you have had a better entry? Like a lot of people don't look at their losses or their past trades in a critical way. Like, you don't look at that in that way. Like, you only look at that a loss as a loss. So whenever you're looking at a loss as trying to find a solution to how could you have had a better trade, that's when you start learning more. Let's take a look at this chart here by Mark. 30-minute resistance. The candle broke out above 30-minute resistance, and after closing above anticipated, price will push up. I know you base your resistance on the 1 hour, but if this candle did what no other candle 30-minute could do, was this a safe entry? Now my zone be drawn on the 1 hour. No, I think it was pretty good. I had the same zone here drawn on the 1 hour, but when we're drawing zones, like let's say on the 1 hour, right? On the 1 hour, we had a resistance right over here. And then on a 30 minute, it was right above this point. So on the 30 minute, on smaller time frames, then you're kind of adjusting those resistances or those supports, right? So let me pull up a fresh chart over here on GJ. So this is a fresh chart here on GJ, right? So if we go down to the 1 hour time frame, and we had this resistance from the left-hand side at this point. Now when we go to the 30-minute time frame, now on the 30-minute, it kind of overlaps these candles, right? So when it's overlapping these candles and you're looking at a 30-minute time frame, now you're adjusting the zone based on this current time frame. So like, if you still think price is moving bullish, maybe we're adjusting it to this area right over here, because at the time this candle is still open, and when it closes, you're looking at this to say that, okay, it's closing like, let me just put this up, like this, right? So if it closes like this, you're like, okay, this candle closed above the same support where the previous candle closed and the one before it closed. So now you're looking at the 30-minute time frame as your most recent, form of support, and then you're anticipating next one to go up. Now there are two chances you can take. That, okay, first one is going to be that, okay, you might want to take a buy when the candle closes bullish at this point, or when the candle breaks the high over here for price to continue moving bullish. US 30. US 30 is still chilling over here. How do you know whether you should wait for a candle to close or take an impulse entry? That question is answered by experience. You know, that's all in experience. That's by watching trades move without retests. Impulse entries are basically when you're taking an entry when candle moves without a retest, basically. That's all what it is. And that comes with experience. That comes with watching the same things happen over and over again. Because the more moves you miss without a retests, the more frustrated you're going to get in trying to find out that how could you have entered that trade. So this candle's about to close in a minute and a half, a bullish candle. I think once it closes bullish, it shall move the next candles all the way to 136,600. And I got the air horn ready over here too. I got the air horns ready for 136,600. So you see how we're making higher lows and higher highs? This pattern, higher lows, should be continued. So maybe now the stops are going to go below this current candle, and next one is anticipating it to continue moving bullish. Someone made a comment, I don't think impulse entries are for me, too much anxiety. Yes, impulse entries are very, very aggressive entries. They are very risky entries. You learn them as you see price moving without retests. That's basically what it is. It took me around 4 months to really dial down on impulse entries. 4 months, man. 4 months is a long time. After I kind of figured out how to use impulse entries, it took me 4 months to kind of devise some sort of a safe system to do a presentation on. And as we move forward, man, these things are just going to get better and better. Impulse entry, stop losses, reducing stop losses, all those things, they just keep getting better and better. Let's take a look at your, so much over here. So much going on. We're starting from the 4 hour here. 4 hours going bullish. We're looking at the 1 hour going bullish. Stop loss is below the 1 hour candle. 15-minute is at this point. 30-minute is over here. I think once the 30-minute candle closes bullish on your JPY, let's take a look here on your JPY, right? This candle is closing bullish 30-minute. You can possibly bring your stop below the 30-minute candle, kind of trail it. We also have the 1 hour closing on GPJPY, 1 hour closed bullish, 30-minute also closed bullish. We're expecting this candle to continue moving to 136,600 without breaking the low of the previous 30-minute. Now when we go to the 15-minute time frame, it's the same thing. We're expecting it to continue bullish without breaking the low of the previous 15-minute, and this is the previous 30-minute time frame. So we can head off towards 136,600. If you were in this trade, would you move your stop loss to previous candle low? Yes, I'd move my stop below the 15-minute candle here. All right, let's see. This is GJ. Okay, so you're basically waiting for a retest for price to continue up. Yep, that retest can happen as well. Oh, wrong chart. Wrong chart from Zoom. Come on, Mr. Osman. Osman sent the wrong chart here. We just sent Osman to the gulag here now. So we're getting some sort of retracements here, which is expected with GPJPY, expecting this resistance, this retracement. So whenever you're in trades and price is retracing and you're getting scared and you want to close, sometimes what happens is that we get in a trade and price retraces, we get scared and then we close the trade, right? So whenever you're getting scared, it's better not to close the whole position, but to close a percentage of the position whenever you're scared. Because more often than not, what's going to happen is that you'll be in a trade, you're going to close the whole position, and then price will still move your way. And then you can say, oh man, like, you know what? I entered this trade, I got scared, and price did move my way. So, you know, a best way to do it is to close partial positions. Because when you close partial positions, you're basically taking some risk off. You know, you're taking some anxiety away, and it basically helps you with your psychology. And I can't believe this week is going to be a fireworks over here. Like on Wednesday we got PPI on the pound, CPI for CAD. Wow, crazy, crazy day is going to be Wednesday. And then Thursday also is going to be a crazy, crazy day for the pound. Just insane. So after you close partial position and then price moves your way, is it advisable to take another position? No, not at this point. Because taking another position, it's like you're adding another risk to the trade. So it's very risky. That's something you should do after watching it happen over and over again. You know, as price starts moving on, then you can start to see, okay, where could I have entered another position? So let's take a look at this chart over here. This is buy taken based on a 30-minute time frame. I think you can move your stops below the 30-minute candle because if you want price to continue up, you're expecting them to respect the lows, right? All right, so we got in 4 hours, we got the Brexit vote. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. At 11 a.m. we have the Brexit vote. Well, you know, the good thing is I'm not going to be looking at the chart, so it's perfect. They can do all the voting they want. Ooh, see, now I'm looking at the 5-minute. So if I'm in a trade, if I'm in a buy, and if price is breaking this low over here, at this point, I'm going to be closing 50% right here. If you're in a trade, I mean, if I would be, if I was in a buy over here, I'd be closing 50% right over here as the 5-minute lows are being broken here. Because as it's broken the lows on the smaller time frames, it's giving it room to break the lows over here too. So you're constantly managing risk, you know, constantly managing risk. Because as price moves, here's the thing, it's a very, very simple concept, right, in risk management. Whenever price is moving, we can't predict where price is going to go. We can only speculate where price is going to go, right? We just don't know how price will get there, when will it get there. Like, you know, we can only guesstimate. But the only thing we can control is risk. We can only control risk. The money we have on the line, how we managing our trade, that's the only thing we can control. So, like, you know, be excited about managing risk, man. Like a lot of people, when you go in drawdown, you just freeze. You're like, oh, I don't know what's going on. You know, like a lot of people are putting a lot of stress in trading right now because it's a Monday and they want to make those profits on a Monday. Man, trust me, everybody wants to make those profits on a Monday. But on Monday, you need to go easy, just take one trade, just call it a day because you got Tuesday, you got Wednesday, you got Thursday. So, you know what I'm saying, man? Monday, people lose a lot of money. So you gotta relax on Monday. If you've taken one loss on Monday, call it a day. That's the easiest thing to do, call it a day. This is a scam. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. Every now and then we got someone saying scam. This is GJ. Hit with the candles. With the candles making higher highs and higher lows, would like entry at the break of this level. Break above 136,700 to get a clean zone up over here. Okay, perfect. So you're looking for buys up that point. That's pretty good. I don't know why it's so hard for me to wait for a candle to close in my direction. I need to take a patience class. Well, it's just, you just have to wait. You just basically just have to wait for a candle to close. Because if you look at the time, right? Let's take a look at the time. If you're looking at this 15-minute candle, or let's say if we're looking at this 15-minute candle and you're waiting for this 15-minute candle to close, right? There's 7 minutes left. So now you have 7 minutes to do whatever you want. You can go make coffee, you can go maybe take out the garbage, or like you can read some article for 7 minutes, but because that's it. You only have 7 minutes to wait. When I'm waiting for a candle and I know I have 20 minutes for the candle to close, then I know, okay, you know what? I got 20 minutes to chill. So for 20 minutes, I'm going to try to do some things. I might go make coffee, I might go get some water, get some food. So that's how you're doing it. Let's take a look at this chart over here. This chart is Euro GBP, waiting for breakout, then retest and take a sell. Let's take a look at Euro GBP over here. Euro GBP starting from the daily time frame. Daily is super bullish. Daily has also reached some sort of a resistance. Let's bring it out to the left hand side, see what level we have. Let's take a look on the 4-hour now. 4-hour is also encountering some sort of a support at this point. This candle is still open. Now on the 4-hour, this candle is open, so we don't know whether this candle is going to close below support or it's going to close above support. That's something we don't know, right? But we do know is that we're bullish, and it's kind of like, seems like it's kind of retracing. So we're going to go down to the 1-hour time frame. Looking at the 1-hour, this candle is kind of doing another like a retracement here. So now this looks good from the fact that, okay, if pound yen is bullish, right? If pound is bullish and euro is weak with your GBP, if euro is weak, then the entire pair euro GBP should continue moving down. But we need some sort of a confirmation down on euro GBP that, okay, price will indeed continue moving down. So we're going to take a look at the smaller time frames here. Let's take a look on the 30-minute. The 30-minute is also retracing. 30-minute is making a series of lower highs, hasn't made a lower low. Let's take a look on the 15-minute here. 15-minute is consolidating here. So let's readjust these zones based on the 30-minute time frame. So what I think is that 30-minute created a minor resistance at this point because we had a candle closing bullish and then we had a candle closing bearish, right? So resistance formed. Now what we would want to see is maybe you'd want to see a candle breaking the low at this point for price to continue down, or even breaking the lows on the 15-minute time frame here for price to continue moving down. Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty good because as it continues to move down, pound yen should continue moving bullish towards the target at 136,600. Now you can see it came down. Maybe some people secured some positions. Maybe some people closed out 50% or 40%. But still, you're in a good trade because the candle did not break the low of the previous candle. It did not break the low of the previous candle. Someone took a buy over here for price to continue moving bullish. Pretty good, pretty good. I think we should continue moving over here to 136,600. We got around 3,000 people watching here. If we are taking a trade based on a 30-minute time frame, then should we adjust the stops based on a 15-minute? Depends. Depends, because the thing on the 15-minute time frames is that sometimes if we're saying that the candles need to respect the lows, sometimes on the smaller time frames, candle can break the low on the smaller time frames. Sometimes that happens, which is why they say that the confirmations on the small time frames are weak. So that comes with experience. That comes with also like it's based on situation. Like at this point, you could have a stop below the 15-minute time frame, but let's say if this candle was up over here, then having a stop below the 15-minute time frame would be a little risky because it can generally come down and break the low, and yeah, bad things can happen. If price stays above 136,300, yeah, there we go. So this is 136,300 right over here. So price needs to stay above this area for it to continue moving bullish. I executed a trade on GJ. This was my bias. Can you take a look here? Let's take a look. Price made a high, breaking resistance, came back down to retest the level of resistance. Candle closed bullish above zone. For me, it was a confirmation to call the zone at support. Perfect. You took a buy. You bank 11 pips. Stretch free, move stops or break even. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good trade. So you basically took the buy once this candle closed bullish and took a buy for price to continue moving up. Would love your opinion on this setup. I'm looking for what do you think about this on AJ. I think if you're trying to trade AUD JPY, it's going to be very difficult because I've mentioned this again, but maybe you're new here. If you're looking at AUD, oh wow, okay, yeah, this is in the past. This is in the past. We don't even look at this right now, so I'm just gonna not even look at that chart right now. You need to send something that's in the present, not from the past. And what are you? Ghosts from the past? You know that Christmas ghosts? Christmas ghosts to the past. Alright, let's take a look at this new chart coming in. This is still in the trade. We have rejection on previous candles. Okay, so you're expecting price to move up over here. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Where you're moving your stops and all those things. So you have to point those things out where you're putting your stop losses. So this 15-minute candle is about to close. 15-minute candle is closing bearish. Now, this is really important. If you're in a buy at this point and 15-minute candle is closing bearish, now you're definitely closing partial positions because two things are happening. Number one thing, we're respecting this minor resistance. Number two thing, candle is closing not in a buying direction. It's going to close in 8 seconds, so we're going to see how it closes. If it closes bearish, this means that the probability of going up is decreasing a little bit. So now, yeah, okay, perfect. Close bearish. Now you're closing 50% of your trades because price is at resistance again. And I mean, yeah, that's basically it. So if you're still in a buy at this point, and now you've closed partial positions and your stops are, let's say, down over here, and if you still think price is going to go up, I think adding a second entry would make sense once we break above the highs at this point. I think that's going to be a point where you can add a second entry, having the stops below the low of this candle as it breaks the high at this point, for price to continue up towards 136,600. So that's how you're breaking down candles, you know, to see how you can add entries and stuff like that. Yeah, and that can overall push the 30-minute candle bullish as well. Hey, can you give me some thoughts on this managed trade? Give my thoughts on this managed trade. All right, let's take a look here. So this is close above the high. Close all 6 pips. Oh, there we go. We're breaking above the high here slowly. Slowly and surely, we should come up above 136,450. We've broken the high. You know, the stops go below this candle, and now you're expecting price to continue moving towards 136,600. So whenever you're adding a second entry, you have to understand now you're adding another risk to your original risk as well. You know, so you really have to manage trades as you add second entries, you know, as you add more positions, because those things are really important. Managing trades, man, that's really, really important. Like a lot of times when people add entries, they're not keeping in mind the risk they're adding to that trade. And also, man, listen, it's a Monday, right? It's a Monday. Don't go too hard on a Monday. You have to relax a little bit. You know, Mondays and Fridays are the same thing. It's Monday Madness and Freaky Fridays, so you have to be very careful, especially with your risk as you're adding positions. Are you in a trade right now? No, I'm in no trade. I just took one trade in the morning. This I'm just spectating. I'm doing commentary on this trade. I just took one trade earlier in the morning, and that's about it, right? It's a Monday, so I'm only focusing on one trade. Yeah, I'm here for emotional support. So far it's working, man. So far emotional support is working, so that's good. 2 months in and still profitable. Been avoiding stop outs by good risk management. Will turn into studying coding if this won't work. Yeah, you should always have options, you know. I think coming into trading just because you want to trade is a bad idea, because it's hard. Trading is pretty hard because you have to manage your emotions, you have to manage yourself. It's pretty hard. So Euro GPY is also coming to the point here, our target here. Euro GBP is still in that range, hasn't really broken through it. Yeah, so I guess we're just waiting for the candle to close now. And as we wait for the candle to close, it should continue moving up towards 136,600. We can see how the highs are also being respected, right? We're making higher lows over here. Making higher lows, this is trying to make a higher high to break above, so it's pretty good so far. Do you have an idea about gold? Gold, let's see. Gold is in a 70 pip range, right? 73 pip range. So if you want to break down gold on the small time frames, let's do this. So yeah, I mean, it's still in a range over here. It gets pretty tricky at this point. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is still a range. Gold is still in this. Oh, this is a 100 pip range. It gets pretty tricky. Let's go down to the 30-minute time frame. 30-minute at a support. There's no trade over here. Above this resistance, there's another resistance at this point, and there's another problem at this point. So going up to the 4-hour time frame, 4-hour makes much more sense because, you know, we're in a range at this point. Hey, how do you look at GU for more information to trade GJ? You don't. You don't look at GU to know where you're going to trade GJ. GU and GJ are totally different things. Completely different things. GU and GJ, they kind of make sense in the London session. In New York session, they're totally different. You know, because GJ is only being moved by the pound. But GU, where's GU? Let's bring up GU. Oh, EJ is reaching target here. So GU, here's GU right over here. GU is only being moved by the pound and the US dollar. But at this point, it seems like they're moving the same way because pound is really strong and the dollar is really weak, which is making GU continue bullish. and it's making GJ continue bullish because pound is strong and yen is closed. But normally they have some sort of correlation, but it's not a lot. There's not a lot of correlation with GJ and GU in New York and London unless the currencies are on our side. Do you think Vantage FX broker is reliable for investing in stocks? No, Vantage FX deals in FX. FX means currencies. So you're looking at the wrong broker there to trade stocks, but that's not the right way. Euro New Zealand 15-minute chart. Okay, this makes sense. You have clean traffic coming into some sort of consolidation, but still is bullish to continue moving up. Good work. Ooh, Euro JPY is coming straight up over here. How big was this range here? 10, 11 pips? Yeah, pretty good. Something what we anticipated price to continue up. Come on, GJ. Come on, GJ. Like a lot of people are on your back right now, GJ. You gotta run like a horse. Run like a horse all the way to 136,600. Sometimes when GJ or gold they're trending and you're looking at the small time frames, you see, oh, there we go, it's galloping. It's galloping right now.
Let's go. Good morning. I was on mute.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Gee,
Here we go.
there you could go.
It's a party.
Oh,
18 pips. 18 pips.
Yes, sir. I just had another entry because I had entries from London this morning,
Oh, nice.
but I got another one. So I'm expecting JJ to give us a nice push over 136,600.
JJ? JJ from
JJ?
Miami?
GJ.
AJ,
Chai. GJ. 600 should be nice.
Yeah.
what about the vote, Kerwin? What do you think about it?
Gold?
The vote. Brexit.
Oh, well, yeah, that's something, but for that we'll need GJ to be priced in by that time.
That vote, I think that vote is way too far away to be worried about right now.
Yes, yeah. You know. Okay, GG. For now, we're only focused on GJ going to 600 level. That's it, and that's gonna be my target for the runner that I have from London, and for this one right now. So I'm expecting 15 pips is nice.
Yes, sir.
Even like till 550, 580, I'd
Yeah.
still consider that as
Yeah.
pretty good.
Because I mean, we had some sort of rejection from that level. I think it was Friday or Thursday. So yeah.
Ooh, Euro JPY continued moving here. Damn. Whoever's playing that music, I'm gonna mute you because YouTube. Like, how much money you recommend me to start to earn some profit, not just coins? I've been training for years on demos. I think since you've been training for years on demo, you need to start training on live as well with a smaller amount, because when you go live, man, even going live with $200, it's different because every trade you take, that's affecting your psychology. So trading live and trading demo are two very, very different things. So the time you spend trading demo, I think the same time you're going to spend trading like a smaller account. So whenever someone comes to trading, they're like, I'm going to start with demo. I'm like, no. Start live, but start with a smaller amount. Something that you're okay with losing, like $100, $200. Start with that and see where you are with respects to attachment to money. Hey, I'm interested in joining your lifetime mentorship. How come it's closed at this point? Because we're closed right now. Probably gonna open up later on, but it's been closed. It's been closed. 4 minutes left. Candle's about to close in 4 minutes. Let's take a look on the 30 minute. 30 minutes also closing bullish, pretty good. Now if you're in trades, you're basically moving your stops below the 30-minute candle. 1 hour is also pretty good. You got these wicks here to the left hand side. 15-minute is giving that confirmation. We're closing above this minor resistance to continue bullish. Look at this chart over here. This is GU entered as candle broke resistance. You're anticipating price to continue moving bullish. I think the problem, let's take a look on the 30-minute here. So you're placing your stops below this previous 30-minute candle at this point, right? Because we formed support, right? Price respected support, kind of like formed some sort of resistance at this point. We broke above. So you're basically placing your stops below the 30-minute candle over here, and you're expecting the next candle to continue moving bullish. But if we do start coming down, then maybe this move down could be like another retest for price to continue moving up. So always give your trade second chances, you know. So if this does not go up, and if this comes down and breaks the 30-minute low, maybe it's going to do another retest later on in the session, giving you a second chance at the same bias, you know. So that's always very important, to be open-minded towards second chances. Oh, we got Siad here too with his space station. Man, his screens look legit like space stations. Look at that. Oh shit.
Not too much.
The entire YouTube can see you in like a bigger screen right now.
Oh my god. Now I can't stay comfortable.
People watching you? Yeah. I started freelancing to get the blah 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 blah. Yeah, no, it's gonna. We have to be patient. We have to stay patient.
EJ was good. I took EJ that 1 hour break and retest.
Yeah, it was a pretty good move. Oh wow, it exceeded that target over there. Went straight bullish.
I'm still holding EJ for 125.960.
960. Okay, all the way up over here. This area here. Okay. Why this area here? I mean, why'd you choose 125.960?
I was going based off of the 4 hour, because that's the previous 4 hour level.
Perfect. Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, because now you have clean candles here, and there's a high probability for price to come up over here than to go down. Can more screens make us profitable? Yeah, sometimes. You know, but it's a lot of money you're spending on the screens. So you got to be profitable to buy the screens in the first place.
That's true.
All right, the 30-minute candle just closed. 15-minute candle also closed. We look at the 30-minute candle, closed bullish, pretty good, with a big rejection there, making it more probable for price to go to 136,600. And then we're looking at the 15-minute. 15-minute also, you know, we closed above this minor resistance, so this candle should respect this low. Oh shit! And then continue moving bullish. So yeah, let's just see what happens over there. Man, where JPY is also, it may do some sort of retracement here too for the NY Open.
Yeah, that's a 4-hour resistance on EJ, so it makes sense if it has some troubles breaking first. But if it does, it's going to be a good move to the upside, more continuation.
Yeah, we're all looking at your charts on your screen right now. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 charts.
No, there's plenty of them.
Hey, on that white screen, can you like break down the whole screen into, let's say, like 4 different monitors?
Yes.
How do you mean? One more time.
Yeah, you press on the window button and you press on the left or right arrow. Like mine, I got a 47, and it breaks down on different windows. It's like if you have like 4 different screens.
Oh, yeah, I don't think I need that. Even though I don't really understand what you mean.
Oh.
You mean the 49-inch monitor to make it look like there's 4 screens?
Yes.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
We have a mentorship for that. If you're interested.
Okay.
We can give you a PDF. You
But
wanna
it's
buy a
closing
PDF?
soon.
You want to buy a PDF?
Sure, let's go.
Okay.
There's an advantage, to have this, because you can, when you trade more than one pair, you can monitor them, very easy, so you don't miss a move. Sometimes you just stay on one. Let's say I'm monitoring 2 pairs, and I get, busy with one, talking something or like that, and I can miss the other one. So this way I can see everything. So there's no excuse to miss any trades now.
Yeah, not for you, man. There's no excuse now.
Yes. No, there's no excuse. People ask me all the time, do you need all these monitors? No, you don't. You don't, but I wanted to make my office more, how do you say? So I can stay more here, I can't find the word now.
Optimal.
Multitask?
Comfortable.
No. Can't really think of it now. I'll tell you when I remember.
Make the office feel like home or like a bedroom. Bedroom? No.
Attractive.
Oh, attractive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. More attractive, so I can stay more here. Spend the whole day. Not really whole day, because obviously would go blind with all these screens. But for us that we stream, we need more than one monitor. That's the thing. So not everyone needs all of these monitors.
All right, so the 15 minute is forming. It formed, closed, started going bearish, still respecting the lows, still pretty good. Um, your JPY, your JPY is rejecting that level. It's rejecting that 1 hour zone we had over there. Came up into, the 125, 900 area, started rejecting. GU also started rejecting. We look on the 15 minute and 30 minute. On GU, candle closed with a small body. Small body candles mean that there is less volume in that time frame. That's basically what it means. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here coming straight from the Gulag. The Gulag chart coming in strong. This is GA 4-hour chart. Took a buy above key zone. GA has tendency to trend strongly before retesting. Am I right? Yes. So basically, when you're in a buy like this, you're also trying to see that, okay, where are you securing profits? Because you're always securing profits. You're never in a trade not securing profits. So you have to know where you're securing profits. Can we possibly see support formed on 30 minute for price to continue going up? 30 minute hasn't had a retracement since breaking. Let's take a look on the 30 minute. 30 minute of support forming. Yeah, we had a support forming here at 6 a.m. And now what we're anticipating is that as we move into the New York Open, we're expecting the volume before and into New York Open to continue it towards 136,600 before breaking the low of the 30 minute right over here. Because if it's going to break the low, then it's going to do a retracement to create a support to continue moving up. Right, so those are the two things can happen. And now when we go down to the 15 minute time frame, 15 minute time frame also makes sense over here because we broke above, we had this minor resistance, price broke above here, and we want this candle to respect the lows at this point to continue moving up. If we break below this point, then you can say that, okay, now price can come down to create another support maybe over here and then continue up later on. Can you show us why 136,300? Right over here, because this is a support on 136,300, right? 15 minute, we created a support at this point, and if we go down to the 30 minute time frame, this is the 30 minute low here as well, 136,300. So even if price comes down, it shouldn't create a support below all this area over here. It should create a support within this area and then continue moving up. But first, we need price to stay above this minor resistance to continue moving bullish. Hey, what tips can you give someone who's going live? My advice to myself is to stick to the same plan whether you're on demo or live. Yes, that's true, but it's very difficult. When you're trading live, you're trading real money and you have emotions attached to money. Whenever you go in even like a 2-pip drawdown or a 3-pip drawdown, it affects you a lot. So I think the best tip I can give you is to really, really focus on taking one trade a day. Just one trade a day. The only trade I took was like an hour and 40 minutes ago. Took one buy, that buy lasted for about like 5 minutes, and that's it. Since then, I've just been, I'm acting like a guy with pom-poms, just like spectating price, like a cheerleading price to go where it wants to go. See now this 15-minute candle is coming down, and it's about to close in 4 minutes. And when the candle's about to close in 4 minutes, and if it's going to close bearish, I think at that point you might be closing 50%. I know some people took buys as we broke the highs at this point, and as price came down to your entry, I'm pretty sure you're closing 50% at that point as well. If you added an entry at this point. Look at your JPY. Your JPY is doing a full retracement, so that was the area where you should have been securing profits, moving stocks to break even and whatnot. Your GBP is now starting to move bearish as well. We have the support formed. It needs to close and break below for price to continue moving down. When going bullish, how do you differentiate when the bearish candle is retracing or reversing? Well, that's something we don't know, right? But the only thing we do know is that if we want this candle to go bullish, we don't want this candle to break the low of the previous candle. If this candle breaks the low of the previous candle, then it's not a retracement, then it's like it may continue moving down to do like a retracement and to create like a support to continue going up. So there's a difference between retracement and forming a wick. You know, if it breaks the low, then it's retracing. If it doesn't break the low, then it's just forming a wick to continue going up. Would you normally stay on the charts after taking your trade, only trade for the day, or do you only watch the charts because you're streaming? I only watch the charts because I'm streaming, and it's a good time pass too, because you know, if I'm up at 6 a.m., I'm not going to go back to bed. It just doesn't work like that. I just can't go back to bed, so I'm just going to stay here. You know, and it's also fun, you know, like we have a lot of friends over here. We like talk here and there, like, and Mac comes on and kind of talk to Mac a little bit.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Roll
There
call.
he is.
Hey, I'm in attendance. So if you see now, the 15-minute candle is about to break the low over here. So this is the point where you're getting excited about reducing your risk. You know, closing 50%, closing 80%, whatever you're trying to close. Like you're really always looking to see how you're reducing your risk in a trade. Man, I get really excited, you know, whenever price comes in a drawdown, and when I go in a drawdown, I get excited because that's the moment for me to shine. At that point, I can say, hey, listen, I closed 50%, and when I post that later on, and when people see that, they're like, oh man, his loss was so small because I'm managing losses. You know, like I think traders go through stages. You know, one stage is when you go in a drawdown, you start to panic. The next stage is, I think the super saiyan stage is that when you go in a drawdown, you start to see that, okay, perfect. Now I can reduce my risk. You know, now I can make my losses smaller. So that's the stage you want to be in. You got to move from panic stage to the exciting stage. Exciting stage is where you can really reduce losses. Panic stage is where you don't know what to do. So someone said it right, be excited to lose. You know, you got to get excited. What's your RR on your trades? My RR on my trades is variable. You know, it's like 1-to-1, 2-to-1, 1-to-2. Sometimes really negative RR, sometimes really positive RR. But RR is very subjective. You know, it's just RR is extremely subjective. So let's say you took a trade based on, let's say your stop loss was okay. So let's say you took a trade like this, right? Let's say you took a trade like this. Your stop was over here, and your TP was over here, right? Let's say you took a trade like this, hypothetically speaking. I'm not in this trade. Someone who's thinking I'm in this trade, I'm not in this trade. You got to get yourself checked if you think I'm in this trade. So let's say you took a trade like this. When price goes in profits and you're moving your stop over here, right? Now you have a positive RR. So let's say you started with a negative RR, and as you moved in profit, so let's say price closed bearish, your closing positions here. So as you move your stop loss now, and you're in profits up over here, now your RR becomes positive. You know, so that's all subjective. This is the first thing I learned. The first thing I learned when I started trading was, oh, you should have like a positive risk reward from the get-go. And I would always be looking for 1-to-2 risk reward, 1-to-3 risk reward. There are people here who still look for 1-to-3, 1-to-4, 1-to-5 risk reward. It's not about that. Just forget all about it. It's important. I know it's important, but when you're learning, it's very dangerous, because sometimes what happens is that if you're taking a trade, let's say you're taking a buy here, your stop is down over here, and you're only looking for 1-to-4 risk reward, right? So let's say your risk reward is up over here, your stop is here, you're like, okay, that's my 1-to-4 risk reward. And I'm only going to close when price goes to my 1-to-4 risk reward. But what you don't see is that there's a resistance in the way. So when price comes up to this area, you're like, okay, well, this is a resistance at this point. So it doesn't make any logical sense to have a take profit beyond resistance, right? So whenever you're going in profits, you're always securing profits, you're trailing your stop losses, and then that's the point when your risk reward becomes, you know, variable. Let's take a look on the 30 minute here. 30 minute is still open. It hasn't really moved up. 30 minute is still bearish over here. It's still respecting the low of the previous 30 minute candle. The 15 minute is also respecting the lows over here, but it looks really, really dodgy, right? 15 minute does not look good. It's difficult now. So when a time frame gets difficult, we move on to the higher time frame, the 30 minute time frame. And now we're looking for the 30 minute time frame to continue bullish.
You know what should help anybody once start trading GJ? You need to, you know, other than back testing, start looking at how the candles behave in the last 15 minutes prior to the hour close. So, for example, right now you have that pullback on GJ, right? So some people start panicking because, oh my God, it's going down. But if you take a look at the hour candles, you're gonna print in your mind how this 1 hour candle can close in the next 15 minutes, and that will help a lot, you know. So I just pay attention to how the candles are forming, and don't panic. I mean, you have your stop loss. The only way you can panic if you're over risking, or you don't have a stop loss, and crazy news comes out, and then you're gonna be huge drawdown. But if you have a stop loss, you already know how much are you risking.
Yeah, I know that's true. Oh, what's this over here? Price is bullish. Let's zoom in a little bit. Oh, okay. Price is bullish. Price closed and broke above this point over here. Clean traffic to 136,550. Entered on 30-minute candle, closed bullish over here. Closed 50% at 1-to-1. Runner hit TP. Oh, beautiful. Perfect. This was actually a pretty good, nicely labeled trade. All right, looks like 15 minute is coming up over here. We're respecting, see how we're making these higher lows on the 15 minute, but now it's printing sideways, so it means it's kind of like trying to range at this point. But we're trusting the higher time frame, the 30 minute time frame, to flip bullish as we come into the New York Open and continue on towards 136,600.
The 1 hour still has more room to push. If you look at it, the last zone that was respected is the 136.800. I think there has more room to go all the way up to that price, even above the wicks.
All the way up over here? Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the last time where price broke and retested that zone, and you see this huge drop. Yeah, this one here.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at when I was doing my weekly analysis. Like maybe that's the area where price is going to come up, because daily was a really, really strong support which we rejected here from July.
Yeah, it looks pretty hard to break that for now.
Yes. And we're coming back up now. 30-minute candle is about to break, is about to flip bullish. And then as it flips bullish, I think we're going to come up towards 136,300. Look at the 15 minute. 15 minutes about to break the high over here. We look at the 5 minutes. It's also looking pretty good. Break above this area, and like it's only 10 pips away, you know. Is it a good idea to move stop loss under current 30-minute candle? Yes. Yes, that's a great idea. That's a very good point, right? So if you're moving your stop below this current 30-minute candle right over here, this is, so you're saying that, okay, 30-minute has made a higher low over here. So now this candle should have no business coming down to break this low at this point and should continue moving bullish. So in a way to say that, okay, if this is the last 15-minute candle of this 30-minute, this should continue moving bullish without breaking the low at this point.
And with the NY push, should we not get that minor resistance at sitting at around like 136,700 on the 30 minutes?
You know what I'm expecting is this 136,500 to break. Like this is a minor resistance now on the 15 minute to break up towards 136,600, 700. Oh,
Yeah.
right here. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a zone like this. Because if we're looking at this area here to the left-hand side, this was a resistance and this was some sort of a minor support.
Mm-hmm.
So when price came up here, it rejected that area. It came up here again and rejected that area.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, so I think currently we're starting to move up now.
It is when you start singing GJ, GJ, GJ.
GG.
Come on, GJ, come on. I know you can do it, baby.
Yeah, baby girl can do it. It's
Hey,
broken up
don't
off the high
stutter,
now.
Kerwin, man.
Once it break the 500 level, it's gonna be a nice push. Trust. Problem is the half point, the 136,500, it's acting as a heavy resistance. But when it crosses that 500, 600 is coming cake.
Man, my neighbor, he installed new grass 2 months ago, and his grass is all gone. It's just burnt now. He didn't water it. He doesn't give a shit about his new grass. The guy spent like 4,000.
No way.
It's all gone, man.
Jesus Christ.
Maybe he's a trader. He has a lot of money because we never see him come out.
He's in the gulag.
Yeah, he's in the gulag. All right. 6 minutes for NY Open. Really expecting the volume in NY Open to push it to 136,600.
The way that 1 hour is looks like it's gonna close. Next one might just push straight next zone.
Yes. How do I know how much I'm risking on US 30? If you don't know how much you're risking at US 30 and your nickname is Unstoppable Jamaica, man, you need some reevaluation to do over there. Maybe maybe your account is unstoppable, man. All right, 136,509, 136,509. Can we get to 550? 136,550. Come on. Come on, 136,550. We got 5 minutes.
Here we go.
All right, 136,513. You know when you're closing 50% trades and you're closing like partials and then price goes to your stock, goes to your take profit? That's like you brought in all your army. Let's say your army had 100 people and now everyone died and the last 10 people are approaching the target, you know? So this is what I sometimes see, that I'm in a trade and I'm closing 50% here, 50% there, and then it hits to take profit. Then I'm like, oh, finally we reached our destination. This name of the soundtrack, this soundtrack is called Hear the Noise by, yeah, it's called Hear the Noise in the YouTube audio library. So as pound is getting stronger and euro is getting weaker over here. So pound gets stronger, then the euro gets weaker. So if pound gets stronger, I think euro GBP should continue moving bearish at this point. Maybe down till here. 0.9211.
I never trade Euro GBP.
Yeah, me either.
It's one of the pairs that it's more known for making a lot of fake outs.
Yeah, like it's difficult because during the London and New York. I mean, there's euro and the pound. They're both like,
Yeah,
it's
they
very
both,
difficult.
yeah, they get stronger maybe at the same time, and it's like too much ranging doesn't respect zones that much. I don't know about the others, but for me, it's never trade it.
All right, we got 3 minutes left here. 3 minutes as we approach towards New York Open volume, and this volume should continue towards 136,600. We're at 136,520. I've tried so many strategies, but what Raja teaches is most simple and most effective one. Everyone teaches what is risk management, but no one teaches how to manage trade. You are great. Oh, yeah. I'm not sure if I'm great or not, but it's just simple things to save money. Like I'm a very cheap person, and I really like saving money. And whenever in trading, I have a chance to save some money, to save some loss, I always just focus on that.
But don't say you're cheap. You should say you're wise and you're
Wise.
smart. Yes, you're wise, not
Yeah, I
cheap.
think when I was in my 20s, I wasn't cheap. I was like spending here and there, not caring about anything. I think once I grew older and more responsibilities came in my life, I just started to get more conservative. Yeah, I was part of the gulag when I was in my 20s. Mentally, I was in the gulag. Man, I remember I worked overtime for 2 weeks at my call center job. I think for 2 weeks I got like $850. And that weekend we went out and I spent like $400, $400, $450. And so I spent half my paycheck in one night. And I was like, yeah, I'm the man. I'm the man. We spent $400 in one night, but I was a dumbass, man. Now when I look back, I'm like, that did not make any sense. I spent 50% of my paycheck. I worked for 2 weeks in one night. Just so stupid. Yeah, it was super stupid. All right, we're at 136, 530, 528. We're approaching 136, 550, 531, 528. Can we get to 136, 600? Come on, 8 more pips. Oh, kind of like retracing over here, 30-minute candle. If the 30-minute candle closes like a weak bullish candle, I think it is what it is. We really want it to go up, but it's closing that way. So just put your stops at break even and let the rest run. But you had a fun night. Guess it is worth it sometimes. No, it's never worth spending 50% of your paycheck. That's just dumb. That's just super stupid, man. Don't do that. That's like risking your 50% of your account on trading, saying that, well, at least I had a chance of doubling my account. No, that's just stupid. So it's never a good idea. In the moment, it feels like it's a great idea, but it's never a good idea. Oh, see the candle? It closed like a weak bullish candle. It also means it opened and closed at the same point, which means that it was basically like a write-off. So looking on the 1 hour, 1 hour is still bullish. We can expect in New York to push up towards 136,600 based on a 1 hour candle over here. Looking at the 15 minute is also bullish. We're creating like a minor support. I mean, at this point, if you've still been in the trade, you're just putting your stops at break even and letting the rest run up. I mean, if I was still in this trade, I'd just close whatever I had. I'd put my stops at break even, and if it goes to 136,600, it goes there. If it doesn't, then I'd be like, okay, you know what? We tried. Because the 15-minute is ranging, candles are printing side by side. We look on the 30-minute candle close like a weak bullish candle, which means less volume, so it gets kind of tricky at this point. Let's look at Euro GBP. Euro GBP also kind of like retracing up here. 30-minute candles forming that bearish momentum. GU is also rejecting that area now, forming a resistance. Who are the other guys you trading with? Want to follow them all on IG? Well, we're trading with 3,290 people over here. So if everyone can write their IG accounts for Mr. Tinashe Muturi, he can follow everybody. Ooh, Siad got the stop loss meter over there, the stop loss light.
No, I did a story for the Instagram people, and this was the alarm to join the stream as fast as they can.
Yeah, or when price reaches your stop loss, the light goes on.
I use this when we have a trade, just to alarm everyone.
Okay, I think I should get that one.
Does it make a sound or no?
It has a stupid sound.
Wee wee wee.
Yeah, Mac, that's the sound it makes. I got 21.5 pip and calling it a night. Good night, boss. Take care. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your night. Good night. Yeah, I guess this was it for today, this move up. I mean, if it rejects this area, then I guess we're going to have a retracement and then a continued move for maybe NYC open or London close. But I think this was the move for pre-New York right over here. I mean, if it respects this low and continues up towards 136,600, so be it. But I think there might be some sort of a retracement coming in for move for NYC open.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it a day as well. Bye, guys.
All right,
Okay.
take care.
Jim.
Mula. Take care, Mula.
Meh.
Let's take a look at this chart here. This is GJ 1 hour chart. A support formed here. Okay, we have support forming here. It looks like this was on the 30-minute time frame. To retest the highs, you're looking for price to come down over here. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense because if we're forming a minor resistance here, this will give room for price to do a little bit of a retracement, create a support, and then continue up. You know, so if you've missed this move up, you're basically waiting for price to now create support because, you know, the bias is bullish. We're rejecting a big support on the daily time frame. So you're just patiently waiting for candles to create another support for price to continue moving bullish. It's 8 a.m. I'm going to be right back. Oh, can't take my headset.
Kerwin, you still holding?
Yes, I'm still holding. The thing is,
Yeah,
I
me
have
too.
some position running from this morning. So my entry was 136.20, 270.
Oh, nice. How was it?
So yeah, I'm still holding. But the other one, the last position I entered, yes, I'm still in.
Yeah, I entered at 136,302.
Okay. Yeah. For the last position, my stop loss is just below the 400 level, which is 136, 350. It's 5 pips below the 400 level. I'm
Nice.
expecting this 400 level to act as support. So if you take a look at the 5-minute candles and
Yep.
the 15-minute, you're gonna see this. They're like a barcode is forming on four
Mm-hmm.
candles, one on the side to the other. So basically, that's the last range that I have.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a that's that big, but yeah. Price in order for the GJ continue going up, price must stay above 136 or 100. If
400,
the
yeah.
price breaks below that, then it could pull back even deeper, probably 136 200s. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why my stop loss is really tight.
Nice.
Hmm.
Yeah, I moved mine to 136,375, so.
Oh yeah, that's good.
And by the way, guys, I have like tons of people messaging me recently for the aggressive model and funding talents. I actually did a little IGTV on my Instagram to explain why I did the switch to the aggressive model. So I'm not gonna answer all those DMs. I got like I think like just from yesterday I had like 90 DMs just for that. So so please just go check the IGTV video.
Yeah.
Oh, we still haven't moved. We still have not moved at all. Still at 136,500. Let's look at your JPY. Your JPY is staying above that resistance turn support to possibly continue bullish. GU is breaking up over here. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, let's take a look over here now. Seems like price is consolidating. Yeah, it's true. We're just ranging right now in the 30 minute. Well, 15 minute. 15 minutes about to close in 2 minutes. You know, if it closes bearish, we're basically consolidating now. And then the 30 minutes going to be like, you know, it's going to be closing in 16 minutes. So if the 30 minute closes bearish, we may see price coming down a little bit to create like a support area. Because now when we look left, right? Looking left, we can see that price came here on 11 September and then rejected this area, you know. And before that, price came here up again at like London Open on the same day, and price rejected that again. So we're coming into that same area now. So the more we want price to come up towards 136,600, we also know that this entire area, this situation that we have forming at this point, right over here, this is a rejection area over here. So that's why we got to be very cautious now with the buys, because if the candle closes bearish, then obviously, you know, candles are closing not in our direction, and there's a chance price may retrace, create a support, and then continue up. Because look, previously, whenever price came to this area, it just rejected it and it reversed. So let me just get the chart a little smaller here. Right, so it's just reversed. So now it's back here again. So now what we got to see is that, okay, are we going to reverse from here again to continue down to this support and break this and fall further more? Or are we going to come down to create a support to break this area now and move on towards, you know, 136,900 and back to 137? Okay, so that's something which you should be looking at, because essentially we're just making a high at this point. You know, we're going to make a high at one point at the other, because, you know, we started moving at London Open, we moved throughout pre-New York, and price just can't keep moving up in all sessions, you know, unless there's something really strong fundamentally that's driving it. So, I mean, either we're going to see a top formed for NYC Open or London close, but a top is going to be formed. Where, we just don't know. We can just estimate it should be somewhere in this area over here, right? Do you look at the M shape? No. I look at the M shape when I play with alphabets with my son. He's 2. M shapes, W shapes, circles, circles and O's. So, right, okay, so the 15-minute candle just closed. 15-minute candle closed bearish. It's closing next to a bullish candle. Next to this bullish candle, you have a bearish candle, and next to a bearish candle, you have a bullish candle. So price is ranging now on the 15-minute time frame. We're in a range. So now we gotta wait for the 30-minute candle to close.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, like you said.
Yes. Uh-oh. Secure positions.
Closing.
Secure positions. It's gonna be a crazy move.
This is not gonna.
Have
It's
a
not.
Brexit vote today.
Alright, I'm out.
China's A1 rating. Nothing really important that came into UK Parliament to vote on Johnson's plan to break Brexit diverse treaty. What is that? What does this mean? Brexit diverse treaty.
Go to Forex Live, Raja.
Where? Go to where?
Forexlive.com.
Okay.
There's a UK parliamentary vote on Brexit. I don't know if that's going to affect anything or.
Yeah. Oh, what's this? Would you recommend looking for sells at this stage on GJ? See, here's the thing. If the 30-minute candle closes bearish, there's opportunity to take sells, but since we made a high, probability dictates that there's a higher chance for price to retest that high, and what we know, two things about GJ is that if it forms a support, there's going to be a opportunity for price to continue up to retest that high, which could be anywhere from like 15 to 20 to 30 pip range. And number two is that if this candle does close bearish, there's no guarantee knowing GJ that the next candle will go bearish. Next candle can come up and then just continue moving up. That's something we know about GJ too. So generally, I think it's extremely risky, to take those sells. Those sells may work out, but I think if I would want to put myself in a good position to win, I probably want to wait for price to create some sort of a support and give that a go. UK trying to get out of the Brexit deal. No. What he's trying to do? I think what he's trying to do is, I may be wrong, he's trying not to pay the fee to the EU, that Brexit fee they have. That's what he's trying to do. That's what the divorce treaty is. That he's like, nah, mate. Nah, mate, we keep the money with us, innit, mate? That's what Boris is going to say. And EU is going to say, no, sir, you have to. He's say, no, mate, we keep it with ourselves, innit, mate? We're self-sustainable. And yeah, that's how it's going to go. So let's see what happens with this voting thing here today. Don't miss securities webinar. Oh, nice. This is interesting now. We're moving into very interesting times. Oh, look at that. The 30-minute candle broke the low over there. So now the buys are slowly getting out the window. Because 30 minutes is a much stronger confirmation time frame. So GU is also coming down. Your GBP reversed. So see how pound is dropping? Pound is getting weak. When pound is getting weaker, you're having your GBP go up. So now when we look at your JPY, your JPY is also moving up. So this proves one thing, that the euro and the pound are not directly correlated. Euro and the pound.
No, if GBP gets weak, means Euro GBP should push.
Yes.
And
yeah.
Sometimes it does the opposite. That's the thing. Euro GBP, it's not a good pair. EJ might fill that previous 1 hour wick.
Yeah, I think if it does that, it should continue to like 125.960. So Siad, your package has been sent. Perfect.
Oh, waiting for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't wait.
Calling it a day with one win instead of losing my profits like I've done in the past. Oh, nice. Yeah, one win is pretty good. Man, the thing is, if you take one trade a day and that trade lasts for about, let's say, 30 minutes, and that was your rule to take one trade a day, and it lasted for about 5 minutes, you're going to feel like you did nothing that day. You know, like you took one trade, you executed a trade idea, and you're like, oh, no, 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 this doesn't count. This was a try ball. Like, you know how you're playing baseball or cricket, and you get like out like in the first try? No, no, they're like, no, 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 that was a practice run, practice run. There are no practice runs here in trading. There are no practice runs. If you execute on an idea, that idea should have been used to be executed to make real money, right? And if that idea did not work, even though if it was for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, that's still a trade idea. And if your rule says that you're going to take one trade a day, that's your one trade a day. If you truly understand and follow that concept, then you move into like, okay, like, what, trading is a marathon. I used to first think, hey, trading is not a marathon, man. It's like a sprint. You got to make as much as you can in like the shortest amount of time. But very, very quickly, I learned that that's basically not true. Because you can lose a whole lot in a quick amount of time. Gold is moving bullish over here, moving up towards 1950s. I haven't traded gold in a while, like consistently traded gold in a very, very long time. Then the virus came and the spreads just went nuts, and then it went very volatile and it like calmed down a little bit and it started looking at gold and then boom, again, out of nowhere, again, a lot of volatility in gold, like a lot of volume. Look at this 30-minute candle here. This 30-minute candle is 51 pips. Show me any paired 30-minute candle that's 50 pips. Nothing. And the reason why these candles are so big, that's why the spreads are so big. Because the moves are so, like, I mean, this is like a $5 move over here. That's a big move, like $5 change in gold. Damn.
UJ hasn't moved 50 pips for days.
For days. If you take a trade on UJ with a 15 pip stop loss, you're never getting stopped out.
Yeah, even 10 pips.
Even 10
It's going to go the whole day and you're not going to get stopped. I took a buy on Friday on UJ. I had a 5 pip stop loss. The whole day there was also news and I didn't even get stopped.
Yeah, like if you look at this range on the 1 hour, this little tiny range, yeah, this is like 10 pip range. Let's look on the 4 hour. Okay, looks like it has some room to come down. 4 hours breaking below this area over here. This gets pretty dangerous. This is the problem. We have news coming in on USD later on this week. And this is a resistance like below 106. 106, it broke below. Now, we don't know whether price is going to start ranging between 106 and 105, let's say 850. This is a 20 pip range. It's nothing impressive, to be honest. Yeah, just by looking at it. I mean, if you want to say what's the probability it's going to go down, like a monkey can look at this and say, yeah, there's a high probability it's going to go down. Especially if this daily candle closes like this. Oh man, this seems like the next daily candle is going to go straight down to fill these wicks. Just beautiful structure. Look at that. That's like 20 pips. If this was GJ, that would have been like 50, 60 pips. This is UJ, so.
Yeah, look at all these daily rejections. That's crazy. Looks like finally a move to the downside.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. Ooh, GJ is coming straight down. What a rejection. See, now, this is when you look at the pair, you're like, okay, well, looking at the daily is bullish. Now, daily is bullish not on this thing coming down, but where daily is right now, right? So if we're looking at the daily candle is moving bullish, right? Just this one daily candle. We go down to the 4 hour, like, okay, yeah, 4 hours also bullish, but it's approaching these rejection areas. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, 1 hour, you're like, okay, well, we came up over here at 136.500. 136.500 seems like it's a key level now. From here, like, price is rejecting. So maybe it made a high at 136.500 and now it's rejecting. to form support to continue up to retest that high over there for today. You know, we're not worried about all this information now. We're only looking at this information right over here, because this now becomes our recent zone right here, 136,500. This is our fresh zone now. So, like, you know, we'll have to break this area to continue on towards 136,600 and further on towards 136,800. Yeah, perfect. That's our higher high from here. You know, so if you get a support forming, oh, this can move up. I think if price starts consolidating till that stupid speech they have, and if price forms support and price action, like, you know, supports that idea, I think that speech could move price up. Because if you look at all the past Brexit news, you know, every past Brexit news, whenever they've mentioned Brexit, pound has just gained strength. So yeah, I think it's going to be pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. I think it should continue bullish. I think it should move bullish with that Brexit speech coming in. I think if UJ also breaks below the support, we can continue moving bearish towards 105,840. Oh, Fed meeting may give clues to virus-era job plans. I think a lot of industries are adopting this new method of, like, you know, having people work from home. Because if you look at it, if you are renting a plaza, right, and you're renting, like, let's say 10, 15 units out of it, you have a couple of offices over there, you know, like you're running a bunch of departments there. And as you're running these departments, you're paying rent. You know, and now all of a sudden you have people working from home, and when you got people working from home, and you're like, okay, man, like, listen, these people, they're getting more productive while they're working home. So not only we're saving money in rent, we're also saving money in, like, the upkeep of the place. You know, so once you're saving money there, they're like, okay, perfect, like, we can just afford to have people working from home. And I think what this goes down to then, okay, once you get people working from home and you're getting productivity, you're like, okay, well, maybe we can move this offshore, you know, maybe outsource this to Philippines, you know, India, Pakistan. I think that's where we're moving on to, because there's a phone company here, Bell. When I call them in the evening, it always rings up somewhere in the Philippines. All the time. It rings up in Philippines. But during the day, there's a call from Toronto, someone answers from Toronto, or like, you know, somewhere here nearby. But evening time, all the time, Philippines. And they're so nice to do your work, you know, like, you talk nicely to them. Really love them, man. So I always call in the evenings. And they, hey, brother, how are you? They're like, hey, how are you? I'm good. Hey, Raja, according to the latest 4-hour candle, that's about to close on GJ. Yeah, it's about to close in 30 minutes. If it closed with the big wick to the top, would you expect the wick fill? Let's take a look over here. 4-hour, yeah. See, now, expecting the wick fill, if it closes something like this means it's closing like a small body candle, right? A small body candle basically means like there's less volume in that candle. So if it closes something like this, then you're basically having a stop below the candle and expecting the next one to continue moving bullish. I think that move up could come from, oh man, this is so crazy. So that move up can come from the speech, but if we break below this low on the 4-hour, we could fill this entire move coming down towards 135,850. So this could be a really, really good move going all the way down. So whoever's going to be looking at the, you know, NYC Open until London closed and doing the speech, if we break below this low, man, this is coming falling down. And I'll give you a really good example. I just remembered. This example came right over here on the 4-hour, right here. See this? We had a range. down till this point right over here. So we broke the low on the 10th September. We broke the low at 137 730. You had this range and price just came falling down, and this was news here as well. So the same thing at this point here too, right? We have this range, and if we break below this low, oh man, this can continue moving down. You know what? I'm gonna be looking at this after I'm done from the stream. That's something I may be looking at. So yeah, it should be pretty interesting. Someone is saying, what speech? So there's Boris speaking here pretty soon, at like 11 a.m. Eastern, in about 2.5 hours. I don't know why people send me emails, hey Raja, can you look at this trade? Like, I can't. Every day I get like 10 emails, of my trade of trading view charts. Hey, I couldn't send the chart in the chat. Here you go, sending an email. I'm like, oh bro, no.
That's very true. I got two of them. Same. I don't know. It's easier to find where you can to get that link, of the chart than to go send an email. That's a lot more work.
Yeah, it's true. And then sometimes in my DMs, I get pictures of charts, and that's a zoomed out picture. And on Instagram, you can't zoom in.
Yeah.
It's a zoomed out picture, and I'm like, man, like, can't do anything about it. So just like that picture, and then I move on to the next message. If someone's there listening to this, and you do that, just so you know, I can't zoom in, so there's nothing I can say. What do you think will happen to pound after the speech? I don't know. I think, based on what I've seen, is with every Brexit news, pound has moved up. So based on that observation from the past, I think it should continue moving up. But if it drops, this is going to be a pretty good drop, because it's going to break this low and it's going to continue all the way down to at least 135.850. That's a nice 30 pips. Really nice brick wall he has there at the back. Has like brown and beige brickwork. Pretty nice. Stop loss with the 4-hour break. Okay, so when the 4-hour breaks, basically this is what I'm visualizing. So whenever I'm looking for a trade, I'm like visualizing like how I want to be in that trade. So I'm looking for a 4-hour to, as it breaks the low, it has to form a top. It has to form a top, and wherever that top is going to be, that's where the stop is going to be. So the trade is going to be based on the 4-hour time frame for it to continue moving bearish, if it does move bearish. But if it moves bullish, it should look something like this. If it moves bullish, it should look something like this, filling the wick on the 4-hour, coming down, but not breaking below the previous 4-hour low. So, I mean, clean candle formations happen on the higher time frames. So if that's going to happen on the 4-hour time frame, I think that's what it should look like. And of course, like, this requires a lot of volume. And when we look at the time, there's a lot of, oh, actually, you know what? 11 a.m. when that guy is speaking, Boris has a speech at 11 a.m. That's also London close. So there's, wow, man, that's going to be some crazy, crazy volume coming in. That's going to be some nuts volume at that time. Good luck, everybody. How will you know if it drops? We don't know if it drops. We can just kind of like see it, right? We can just anticipate it. We can just look, because the only thing we can look at is candles. That's the only thing we can look at is candles, And if we know candles, how they move, how they break the highs and the lows and makes higher highs and lower lows, it's because of that. Like as it breaks the low, you're anticipating it to go down. Hey, why are you looking for a top to continue down versus no wick at the top? Isn't it slightly more likely to head down? Well, not really. I'm not sure. So we'll have to wait and see what happens at that point. So even, I mean, right now, I mean, if we form a support, I think we should still continue moving bullish. But that whole analysis was on the next 4-hour candle. Next 4-hour candle with the speech. Are we better off setting sell stops and buy stops at 11 a.m. after the news? No, you should not be trading news at all. I think trading news is very difficult. It's very aggressive. There's a higher chances of you losing on trading news, so I don't think trading news is a good idea. Do you use indicators? No. No way. What do you think the best pound pair will be to buy when he has his speech? I have my eyes on either GJ or GA. I think GJ and GA, they both are pretty good in the New York and London overlap because they're only being influenced by the pound, right? GA only being influenced by the pound, but it moved a lot. GA moves a lot. Do you use fibs? No. What broker are you going to switch to? I have money in Traders Domain and I have money in Black Bull Markets. So, I mean, wherever I want, basically. Amateur hour. Raja, next boot camp in Canada is when he gets his new demo account up and running. Oh, nice. Perfect. Boris Johnson is saying the UK won't honor the Brexit withdrawal agreement. That is why the pound went down last week. If he doubles down on that, pound will continue bearish. Oh, he won't honor the Brexit withdrawal agreement. Yeah, I think that withdrawal agreement is that if they do withdraw from the EU, they have to pay a fine. And Boris is like, no way, that's not gonna happen. Good luck. That's what he's saying. And I think if that's what he's saying, they may look at that as, okay, that means more money in the GBP, right? More money in the UK. So if they not pay that fine, that means more money in the pound. That should, like, prospectively move pound bullish, I would assume. Did you deposit through Bitcoin? Yes. Can you look at CAD JPY and a quick analysis? Well, since there's nothing happening at this point, let's take a look at CAD JPY here for Mr. CJ 5031. CAD JPY. All right, let's start from the daily. Daily candle, the previous one has closed bullish. Seems like we rejected this area over here, and it seems like there's a support down over here. So this is something very, very basic, extremely basic, right? So you drew your support, you drew your resistance, and there's some funny stuff happening here on the daily. So we're going to jump down to the 4-hour time frame so we can see some more information. So we go to the 4-hour time frame. Looking on the 4-hour, seems like we created a resistance over here on the 4-hour. Price moved down, and it seems like it's coming into a support on the 4-hour here as well, right? Again, extremely basic, just plotting out the most recent support, which is over here, and then looking to see if we break the support, where can we go down to? So I guess we can come down till this point here, like 80, 100, whatever. And then if we break resistance, we go up over here, but it's kind of like messy, so we got to go down to the 1-hour time frame and see what's happening. So looking at the 1-hour time frame, we can now adjust our maybe like a zone over here. There's like a resistance over here. So this is a bad range to trade. Good range to trade is probably below this area here, because as you move below this area, you have all this clean range where price can drop down to. And if you measure this like 19, 20 pips, this is probably bad range. I think good area would be above this price for buys, because then you have a clean wick all the way up over here, and then you have an extension of the zone up over here. So if you measure this range, this is like 15, 16 pip range. But then good would be sells here because you got clean range. Let's take a look at this chart. This chart is GJ. Which zone do you prefer to use if you see price action? This one right over here, support, because price is coming down to a support. Whenever price is moving down, it's moving down to a support. So clean candles started, these 3 clean candles, whatever you call it. So this is what, right? There's a candle pattern called three white soldiers. Let me Google this candle pattern right over here. 3 white soldiers. 3 white soldiers right here. All right, so if we go to images. So this is what a three white soldiers is, right? They're like three candles forming, making higher highs and higher lows. That's what a three white soldiers is. Now, basically, that does not mean that the next candles are going to continue moving bullish. You know, it does not mean that the next candles are going to go bullish. Whenever you're seeing candles moving bullish, these three white soldiers, they only happen when there's volume in the market. You know, when there's volume in the market, price moves, and if price is moving up, volume is going to make price moving up. So if you have, let's say, one candle closing bullish, you know, and then you're expecting the next one to continue making a higher high and a higher low. You know, and if you know this is a time of volume, that's the best chance it's going to do that. So, you know, you'll have the next candle forming like this, and then you'll have the third candle, also you're expecting it to forming like a higher high and a higher low. But you need to have a range as well. So in this case, I think we formed support and we had enough range for price to continue going up, in which case we had the three white soldiers over here. You know, after they were formed, so you're like anticipating the next candles to move. So see how there's, oh, someone is saying it's a sign of reversal. Yes, it's a sign of reversal, but there are conditions. It needs to reach a zone. So ironically, it reached a zone over here. You know, it reached a zone over here and it just reversed. And now it came down. And if it forms support, it can continue moving up to retest the high. You ever plan to come to New Zealand and maybe do a boot camp? Yeah, I thought about it. I wanted to come down in April. No, March. So instead of going to Miami, I wanted to come down to Australia, basically. And if I left Tuesday, I'd be reaching there on Friday. So it was like 4 days traveling. Gold is coming up, in the 1950s area over here. Oh, crazy. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a nice move.
Yeah, it's a nice move. Gold is doing its thing, going bullish.
Those three soldiers, man, are pushing heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the third soldier over here.
Yeah.
This is like, let's go!
So you have Uncle Ted down there as a soldier, then you have Mac, and now you have Raja. Raja soldier forming.
I'm not
right
in
now.
gold, man. I stay away from gold.
No, but the candles.
That's you over there.
The big candle, the big candle at the bottom. It's Uncle Ted.
Yeah.
Then we have Mac in the middle.
The shorter one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why don't you use a night bot so that it can automatically answer the commonly repeated questions? That's true, but sometimes people don't have the best spellings, so the night bot won't pick up those things.
Plus the robot it doesn't know how to roast people.
Yeah, it should know how to roast people.
Yeah.
The disruption in Brexit is caused by the highlighting that the agreement Boris signed and is being manipulated by the EU, who now have the ability to carve up the UK. Yeah, I think also because Boris is saying, I'm not going to pay the fine. You know, now this, me talking about that Boris is not going to pay the fine, this is completely made up. I made this up, you know, and yeah, because that's what I understood with this divorce thing over here. You know, because when you do a divorce, you know, then things are split. One person gets one half, the other person gets one. So Boris is like, no, you know, like we're keeping our half and you guys can just get on with it. Just go. So it makes sense. You know, it makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. Gotta make things simple for myself, man. In regards to GJ, let's say the 30-minute candle closes bullish for support, but the 1 hour candle closed bearish. Okay, would you still consider bias? Not because the higher time frame is bearish. Let's see here. So the 1 hour is going to close bearish. 30 minutes is going to close bullish. Yeah, I think so. I think that's going to be a pretty good. That's going to be pretty good because now if we measure how big the stop is going to be, we're going to have like a 13 pip stop over there, 13 to 15 pip stop, and anticipate price to continue towards 136,500. Sergio, gold is only the account blower if you don't know how to trade it, which is 96% of you in the stream. Amateur hour, start roasting people. Yeah, that's true. Like gold is really, really hard to trade, and I'm the part of the 96% because man, gold, I don't know, man, it's just different. Look where's gold at right now. 1952, came into 1950s. I just focus on GJ. That's it. I focus on GJ. I want to be the master of GJ. I want to know everything in and out about GJ. So I just focus on GJ. You should have a pair that you trade, right? I mean, you should be good enough on one pair that someone can come to you and say, hey man, listen, I see you trading CAD-JPY a lot. What do you think about so-and-so? And then he's going to be able to tell you accurately what he thinks about so-and-so. But if you ask a signal provider that gives you signals on 10 different pairs and you ask them about one pair, do you think they're going to know exactly what this pair is doing? No, man. They give signals on 10 different pairs, you know, based on harmonics or whatever the case is. Right? Sometimes the stops are way bigger than the TPs. Let's take a look at this chart here. This is 15-minute support formed. This is a 30-minute chart. Resistance formed during New York. You're expecting price to continue up. Yes, I think that should make sense. The candle's about to close in 12 minutes, so I guess we gotta wait for the candle to close over here. Because we have a support forming on the 15-minute, but the thing with the 15-minute is that the candle body is pretty small on the 15-minute, so that means there's less volume in the 15-minute time frame to go up, right? So this means this is a weak confirmation time frame. So we want the 30-minute candle to close at least bullish, so we know that the stronger confirmation time frame has bullish volume here. You know. So at the same time, while we're waiting for this candle to close, we're also accepting the fact that this 15-minute candle can go up to 136,500. We're also accepting that fact because we want certain things to happen, right? We want the candle to close in a certain way. So I mean, if this continues up, then it is what it is. Because I wouldn't be comfortable taking a buy, to be honest. I'd want probably the 30-minute to close with a wick, you know, and then the next one can continue moving bullish.
All right, thank you, Coach. I'm out.
Oh, thank you.
Going to the gym, trying to be like you, like a bullish candle, you know?
Yeah, trust.
Yeah, I gotta go to the gym too.
All right, take care, guys.
So when the small bearish candle step next to you, you don't get scared.
No.
Because you know where you are. Big engulfing bullish candle. You know what I mean.
We know what you mean. Can we execute an impulse entry on GJ 15-minute if it starts breaking the high of the previous candle? See, that's risky because that's a weak confirmation time frame. It can happen, there's a probability, but then again, like, you know, it's a 15-minute time frame, so it's a little risky. But if you think you can make it happen, then at least, like, you know, at that point, you're reducing your risk. But I'd want to see a 30-minute candle closing, you know, something like this. And the next one to retrace and then move up. Hey, is it a good idea to day trade or swing instead of scalping? I get tempted to overtrade too much whenever I see a good setup because I want to catch the whole move. Would high time frame be better for me? See, here's the thing. Whether you're day trading, whether you're swing trading, whether you're scalping, you're still overtrading. You know, you're still taking like more than 2 trades a day, 3 trades a day, 4 trades a day. You're still taking a lot of trades. You know, even during the week, you're still taking a lot of trades. So first of all, you need to develop discipline. And the best way to develop discipline is to just execute on one trade a day. That's it. One trade a day. Because most times, I'll tell you what happens most times. When you're trying to day trade, or when you're trying to swing trade, and you're not getting profitability from that, and if you look at all those trades, I can guarantee you that most of the times, all your trades are going in profits, and then they go in negatives, and then they hit your stop losses. That's what happens. Mostly all the time that's happening. So, and that used to happen to me too. So what I did was that, okay, if most of the time that's what's happening, is what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to see that, okay, maybe if I can secure a lot of positions as they go in profits, because if I can secure positions, that means I can gain some income from those trades and then let the rest run with stops at break even. And at that point I was like, hey, like, you know what, this is great. I can just secure positions and let the rest run at break even. That's awesome. That's an awesome concept. People cannot be different now. Too much idiots. Not everyone going here to learn. It's fun to see how others traders trade. Yes, that's true. If you execute a trade based on 30-minute and the stop is big, it's a good practice to place stops based on a 15-minute, as the stop will be the low. Yes. So the question is that if we take a trade based on a 30-minute, and let's say the stops are below the 30-minute candle right over here, which is, let's say it's going to be like 15 pips, can we place the stop based on the 15-minute low? See, excuse me, if this candle closes bullish, and if you have a stop below this 15-minute low, this is going to be like a 5-pip stop, you know, like a 6-pip stop. So it's going to be really, really small. Having a stop like there, you're just like asking for price to hit the stop loss. So when a situation like that happens, then you're like, okay, you know what, if it's going to be a small stop, maybe having it below the 30-minute makes much better sense, you know. So that's also, like, you know, variable that sometimes. 4-hour candle's about to close in 7 minutes as well. Oh, we're approaching 1954. We're going to continue on towards 1958 and 1960s on this 4-hour range.
Yeah.
This third soldier. Oh, we got the fourth soldier over here. Will you buy GJ now? No. We're waiting for the candle to close. Boris Johnson proposal to breach international law. Oh, he's proposing to break a law over here. The government has admitted that its plan to reinterpret the special Brexit arrangements for Northern Ireland will break international law. Wow, man, crazy. Look at these gangsters over here, man. These guys are saying, here's a proposal, and this proposal is to break the international law. And we can't even go 20 over and not get a speeding ticket. Where does the world come to? Hey man, I have confusion managing risk. My daily risk is 2%, so I divide that for my trades on, so mostly my trades go from 0.3 to 0.5% per trade, okay? But I see that I'm reducing my profits, I don't know. See, here's the thing. If your risk is 2% and you're dividing it on 0.5% per trade, that means you're taking 4 trades. So what you need to do is you need to take one trade or 2 trades. If your risk is 2%, you're taking one trade of like 2% risk. And as you're adding 2% risk on that one trade, and if that trade ends in a loss, you're making sure that, okay, how are you going to reduce risk at that point? So instead of losing 2%, you're losing, let's say, 1.4% or 1.5%, but not the whole 2%, right? That's the whole idea about risk management. If you're going in with a risk of 1%, you're not getting out by losing 1%. You're getting out by losing 0.6% or 0.7%. Right? And the more you do that, the better you get at risk management, and the less money you lose, and you just get better. I think the first step towards trading is losing less money. Like, you're going to lose regardless. You know, that's just a fact. you're just going to lose regardless. There's no strategy I focus on. There's no set method I focus on. I just focus on how can I lose less. That's it. That's my entire focus every day. How can I lose less? What can I do to lose less each and every day? Because the winners, man, listen, like it's really easy. Price makes a high, price comes down, makes a support, candle closes bullish, take a buy. If price goes up, perfect trade. Everyone says, "Oh yeah, Raja. Oh yeah, Eleanor." Everyone's doing well, this and that. But the challenge is how to really reduce risk. That's the thing. Like when price goes in drawdown, like once you manage it, man, things become really nice. Gold is approaching that thing over there. No, I'm in no trades. Hey, hope you're doing well. Quick question: if 4-hour close above 136.200, 136.200. Let's take a look here. 136.200. Is there a chance to hit 137.300 at the end of the week? Yeah, I think so. Like if this level is respected, I'm not sure about 137.300, but I'm pretty positive about 136.900 right over here. If we close above 136.200 and we respect that level as support, I think 4-hour can retrace to 136.900. Because overall it's bearish. See, that's coming down bearish. So this move up is just retracement unless we break this high over here, and then you can say, okay, yeah, we're trending up now. So this is just like movements, bullish movements happening on the small time frames. Oh, what's this over here? I saw this candle retrace, so I took a sell as soon as it was going down and got stopped. I took the trade and got stopped out. But your stop loss is way up over here. Oh, I think the spread. Oh, it should have been in profit. Yeah, I think the spread took you out. So you gotta look how big your spread is and where your stop loss was. Oh, it was above the previous candle? Yeah, I guess it was the spread that took you out.
That's gonna be a nice 4-hour close on gold.
Oh wow, crazy.
Yes,
Crazy
we're
move,
approaching
gold.
1957.
GG is also closing bullish over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this should also continue now.
Yes, I like how GJ is forming right now. Continue bullish. If that formation happens before 7 a.m., that's gonna be like an easy trade.
This one?
Yeah, this one on GJ, yes. Easy bullish move on GJ. We have seen that the same setup, 1 or 2 times per week on GG. Thing is, the time right now it's not the best.
Maybe you should wait for it to come down a little bit.
Yeah.
Also closed above 1-hour support.
Yes, sir.
How do you personally avoid spread kicking you out? No, you can't. Like usually I place my stop like 4 pips above or below the wick, and if even that gets stopped out by spread, then whatever. When will you decide to take a position? Probably not. I'm taking no positions here. What I'm going to do is I might look to take, maybe look at the 4 hour. Oh yeah, 4 hour close really, really strong bullish.
Yeah.
It's really strong bullish. So we can expect it to come down, make a wick, and then continue moving bullish with the news later on. Yep, that's something to look forward to later on, mate. It's 9 a.m. and why did you say this week was going to be extremely volatile? What kind of a question is that, man? Like, don't you look at the news? Haven't you seen the calendar? Like, you're coming on Monday, you're starting to trade, and you're like, how do you know this week is going to be volatile? Oh my God, man. Come on. Like, you go everywhere, you're like, okay, look at Wednesday. You like, look at this red all over here. This red should just open your eyes. Like, oh shit, this week is going to be volatile. Look at this Thursday over here now. Come on, man. You gotta be attentive.
You see, the bot can do that.
Yeah, the bot can't do that. The bot can't answer that.
Yeah.
Shit. Ooh, you just breaking down over here early. All right, I'm gonna head off over here. I'm gonna have some breakfast and I'm gonna go to the gym over here.
Very nice. Take care, Raja. Take
Yeah,
care,
you too.
everybody.
Take care.
Thanks
Have a
for
nice
coming.
day.
Take care, everyone.
Yeah, man. You too, Sad. Take care.